Everyone, it's Keaton here again with a new video today. Hope you're having a good day and sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Today we'll be talking about environment, like landscape drawing, like maybe if you're doing just for fun or making a story that you want a environment that fits to your character. So we'll be drawing a landscape, and I'll be talking about what advice I can give you while painting or drawing landscape that that can improve in your art. So I'm gonna draw a random landscape here. I like to do before I do landscape. I don't do this always, but I do this in my head, right? So you want to have a plan while drawing a landscape. It doesn't matter if it's doing it. You can do it for fun. Do it for fun. Experiment. But for if you want to do like a story, a movie, animation, whatever, I would like to write down. Okay, like forest, right? Like a road, and maybe a gas station, right? Or you can we'll see, and then you can cross off the ones you don't want in there, right? Recommend use a soft pencil, like HB pencil. So when you're racing, or if you want to stick a pencil or whatever, just do like a light sketch first, and then you can do the the darker lines after. So I'm gonna do and grab a ruler, and I do a little bit of perspective here. It's pretty easy. So just draw a line here. Put a dot where your vanishing point is. So if you want to do a road or perspective, like cubes are for using perspective, and then you can see. Keep in mind, objects that are further are hard to see, but objects that are closer are easier to see. So I'm drawing a road, right? So, and always have a plan to, or you already have it in your head, go ahead and draw it if you already have it in your head. So see how it gets smaller and smaller. So I'm gonna draw a forest. Now I'm gonna do some mountains here. I'll swoop down there. Usually I just did that lightly with this, but if you're having harder time to do pencil sketches lightly, use the HB pencil, but it doesn't really matter. But just do it lightly. So my thought was a forest. Well, it'd be cool if I had a forest in the background. Right here. Just goof around, choose whatever theme you want. If you want like a castle with waterfall, you can do whatever you want. So let's do sketch. So if you're doing, like I was saying, if you're trying to find a perfect theme of like a landscape, whatever, if it fits your story, I'll be talking about it later, but just like showing you how my process of drawing landscapes are, right? Squiggly lines. A little tip here for drawing trees. If you're drawing trees or whatever, unless it's close, you want them detail right for your trees if it's close. But if it's further away, just scribble, not scribble, but do it loosely and it looks organic, So forest ahead. And what happens? I do it closely, right? It's gonna be closer. I'm gonna do acrylics after this, so I just drew a line there because I want the lines, you know, the road lines, right? So it's harder to see. For example, if I draw a stop sign here, you're not going to see it. You're going to only see a bit. There. There. That small. And then I can do a warning sign here. But I want this suspense here. Going to forest. Everything's going to be dark. This will be at nighttime. And imagine going through the back roads and stuff. Right. There you go. And then we use acrylic markers or something to, you know, it doesn't matter, watercolors or acrylics or oil paint. You can do whatever you want. Usually I do watercolors, but it's probably my favorite thing to do for landscape. Whatever medium I use, I feel like watercolors have that like flowing kind of thing. You see dark blue, give that night like thing here. Here. So I'm just gonna block out different. First of all, block in the colors you want, and then put, if you're using acrylic markers, if you're doing it light, like daytime, put in light colors first, I would say, and then do the dark colors. But for nighttime, I would just put probably dark colors first, unless there's, you know, some sort of light, like a flashlight or anything, right? So just gonna do this fast. Block this in. Yeah. And then see how that sets the mood first. So you can tell it's gonna be dark. And then it's gonna do a little bit of gray here. The road is gray. So you do, I'm gonna do the trees layer because this is silver, or no? I thought like this. I think I chose the wrong gray, but it's alright. I can deal with that. Yeah, I think it looks silver. That's alright. I can do another gray on top of there. Just gonna throw this in. That's a good thing about acrylic markers, you can layer things. I'll leave more a painterly look. Let's see here. Let's go for this. There. That's better. Maybe I can leave a little bit of shininess. But yeah. A little bit of rocky road there. The reason I made it streaky because to be like the direction of the road, right? That painterly style, like I like. You know, it's interesting for the Spider-Verse, where they render, you know, in Gwen Stacy's universe. In the computer, they had this watercolor effect. Like, if, for example, this trees, I want watercolor, they would use a watercolor brush and just put it on paper, I think, at first, and then copy it and kind of like put it on that tree, kind of placed it there. That was the most interesting thing. That's not behind the Spider-Verse, so this kind of inspiration, even though it's not watercolors, but still pretty cool. decide my markers which I could use what colors. So you just it's kind of hard. Just gonna block it. Even though this is a little bit brighter here. Here. I'm gonna show you another example here. Let's just. So, I'm not gonna do this. So I'm not gonna fill the whole thing here, but just wanna get it filled in here. Leave a little bit of space here. The trees. I should have added dirt road. Nah. That's whatever. Yeah, I should have added dirt road. We can change it. We can change the paint. Our piece here. Yeah, I don't want any trees. I don't think trees look good. Yeah. Anyway. No trees here, only in the distance. See, your idea could change, or plans whatever you don't like. So that's why I always plan. I go do little thumbnail sketches. That's what I would recommend too. Always do thumbnail sketches first. Right. That's good. Fill this in. Maybe a little bit streaky over here. Get in here. I know I made it a little bit too streaky, but that's alright. Kind of gives a little bit of character. That's why I like to do. Add in a little bit. Yeah. Now I'll add these trees in. This is just a concept. This is just like, I don't think this is a really good concept. But I have another one I'll show you after this. That'll be good here. Usually I would rather do a big canvas. More. But I kind of took this kind of paint style because I want to try. I saw on Instagram. I forgot the person. He did a Life is Strange kind of like landscape painting, kind of. So I can take inspiration from that. So. I'm trying to fill in. Yeah. Yeah, keep in mind, always keep your, if you're using acrylic markers, always keep in the same direction, I guess. I made it a little bit too streaky. That's alright, I can fix that later. This is just showing you how, planning it at first is always better. And learning from my mistakes, I guess, when you watch my videos. So. That might look yellow, but it's not yellow. It's just tannish brown. I don't know what happened to it. But it will turn brown if I get it right. That still looks. Let's see here. Maybe darker brown. Yeah. Yeah, you can outline this. Outlining this always will come to life. just gonna do the mountains here. Like, go outside if you want to practice landscape. I would recommend go outside painting. Grab a couple of paint material. It doesn't matter what medium, but I would recommend like acrylics or oil paints. I would recommend more acrylics, but get used to. You're basically observing, right? So when you go outside, you're observing a mountain or tree. Observe it first, and then draw. See what details that's unique, that stand out. Right, so for example, I think the mountain stands out here. Right, I'm not doing a reference, and I just make this landscape up, but still, you want to find something that pops out. And do more painterly look here. A little bit darkness. See the trees there. I know those little bushes. There. And now I'll add the yellow lines of the road. So I forgot there's a sign of distance. There. Now I'll pretend there's a car coming out here. Right. So that'll change the lighting here. Pretend there's a car there and it's streaking. And that will change the lighting on the grass too, so there's going to be some lightness to the grass here. You can see that clearly. And there'll be more light on the road too, so I'll choose a lighter green, I guess. I'll make it more pop more there. Pop. But yeah, a little bit on the sides. Yeah, that's how I do it. I'll outline this later, but it's just a concept. I'll show you another piece. And just adding the final touches here. See what could I do. Try to find a lighter gray here. Maybe this. To add more texture there to the road. You can add something in the distance. I'll make this a little bit dirty, the sign. There. That's how I do it. Usually I don't do acrylic markers, but yeah. I'm gonna do another piece here. 2 drawings here. That's just an example. But I'll show you another one for if you're doing a story, you want to fit into the story. What background? I'm just gonna turn off the light here so you can see. I think you can see it clearly. Yeah. I'll turn the light. No. There. Leave it here. So this is my character Chloe, of course, she doesn't have blue hair. I'm gonna do no colors, but I want to show you examples. If you're doing a story and you want a landscape that fits into the character, for example, a character's bedroom. What are going to be things in the bedroom that are going to connect to the character that represents that character? For example, Chloe, she plays in the band. She likes to play drums. She likes to play electric guitar. But she's the singer, right? So of course I had like crumpled paper, a little bit messy room. I haven't finished this yet, but I'm gonna do watercolors after. So once the posters don't have any details, doesn't tell stories, so I'm gonna add that. For example, there's a person here, I guess, sitting, pretend there's a mic. Phone, no, I don't think that will work, but you see what I mean? Like just adding things that fit the character. And I would recommend don't do too much detail in the background unless there's something that is important. You want to catch the eyes of a person looking at your art, right? But yeah, I'm adding more edgy kind of details, like collages. Pretend there's a collage here. What else? No, those type of things here. Tell me if you're interested in my process of making a story. How do I come up with characters? If you want to see that, I might do that tomorrow, but tomorrow will be art styles, so I'll be talking about art styles and stuff like that. But yeah, I feel like this is a better example of it, because I didn't want to make this video long. That's why I chose acrylic markers for this, but I'll show you other examples, better examples I have done. But like this one here, this one's a better example, right? Let's see here. This one I use watercolors. It's a better example. This one, for example, here. This one's kind of just a scar. It's kind of a different version, but it's kind of a brutal scene. I'll explain that later. Or this, right? So this one I just want to show you like a quick, kind of example, right? It's not bad, but you can tell it's really my style with that streaky. Don't do it too streaky like me, I guess. But I'll fix this later. I'll post this on Instagram. But yeah, that's all for today. Tomorrow will be art style, so stay around if you're interested in that. I'll be posting it tomorrow. And have a good day. See ya.